You receive a one-word text from a friend, or perhaps there is a half-second of extra silence on a phone call. Without a word of explanation, you instinctively identify their exact emotional state. This happens when you walk into a room and immediately register a shift in the environment, picking up on a tension that others haven't noticed yet. Society often labels this level of perception as anxiety, paranoia, or overthinking. These terms focus on the discomfort of the experience rather than the mechanism behind it. Research in psychology suggests this sensitivity is a specific form of intelligence. It is a highly calibrated way of processing the world, operating at a frequency that captures data points most people ignore. To understand this, imagine the human mind as a radio antenna. A typical brain is built to receive the loudest, most obvious social signals, the literal words people say. This diagram compares a standard radio wave to a complex, tightly wound frequency. An observing mind acts as a receiver for these high-frequency waves, catching the subtle data that exists beneath the surface of a conversation. Your mind automatically isolates microscopic details, like the specific tension in a forced smile, a slight change in someone's posture, or the shifting eyes of the quietest person in the room. Processing this volume of high-definition social data is physically and mentally taxing. Feeling overwhelmed in a crowd is the direct result of your brain attempting to catalog every nuance in the environment simultaneously. This level of sensitivity often develops in response to past environments involving emotional unpredictability, chaos, or stress. In these situations, the brain relies on its primary threat detector, the amygdala. The amygdala is the part of the brain responsible for processing emotions and identifying potential dangers. It acts as a dedicated internal guardian. To maintain safety, this guardian learns to scan the horizon continuously, monitoring for the smallest behavior changes to prevent unexpected emotional shifts. Psychologists call this hypervigilance, an increased alertness where the nervous system stays prepared to react. It is a logical response to a past where noticing a small detail early could prevent a larger problem later. By training your nervous system to scan for these microshifts, your brain develops the ability to predict social outcomes and emotional changes long before they fully manifest. The state that we often call anxiety is actually a survival mechanism functioning exactly as it was designed to. Once the brain gathers this data, it begins to layer it. An observant mind naturally breaks down everyday interactions, looking for the underlying motives and hidden meanings that explain why someone is acting a certain way. This habit leads to higher levels of cognitive processing. Because the brain is constantly looking for the why behind the what, it remains in an active state of analysis even during casual situations. This bridge between scanning for threats and analyzing motives creates high social intelligence. Social intelligence is the capacity to understand and manage complex human relationships. It uses pattern recognition to turn a threat scan into a deep understanding of human behavior. The ability to read a room is a technical skill developed by a mind wired to connect deeply with the mechanics of human emotion. The heavy mental load you feel is the energy required for this deep level of processing. This awareness eventually turns inward. When you were trained to see every flaw and shift in others, you naturally apply those same high standards to your own actions, leading to intense self-monitoring and perfectionism. This leads to mental simulation, imagining future scenarios to prepare for them. Your brain takes to gaze microscopic details and builds a web of potential outcomes for tomorrow. This engine is why the mind rarely slows down, constantly rehearsing what-if scenarios to avoid mistakes. This ability provides the advantage of being prepared, but the constant rehearsal is the primary cause of mental fatigue. Chronic overthinking is the byproduct of an advanced predictive engine. It is a system working to map the safest path through a complex world. Living with this level of perception is demanding. The mental weight that comes from processing realities so fully is a documented psychological experience. This exhaustion is the trade-off for a life lived with significant detail and awareness. Noticing every detail is a significant cognitive asset. It allows for a level of empathy and understanding that is rare, providing a clearer view of the people and situations around you. What is a small detail you recently noticed about someone that revealed their true feelings? Share your experience in the comments, as it helps others realize they aren't the only ones who see the world this way. Understanding the architecture of your mind changes how you live within it. It allows you to see your sensitivity as a high